The Hill has an interesting article here that verifies something we've been saying for a while based on other studies and other articles. They report states that voted against President Obama twice are more dependent on the federal government, according to an analysis of new data released by the Pew Charitable Trusts on Monday. All told, the average state that voted against Obama twice relied on federal funding for an average of 33.8% of its budget, the report found. Among the 27 states that voted for Obama twice, federal grants made up 29.9% of the average state budget. Republican states rely more heavily on federal dollars as a share of their budgets than do more Democratic states, largely because southern states especially are more likely to have a higher percentage of residents living in poverty. Now, stop and think about this and how it flips the stereotype on its head. Remember what Mitt Romney said when he thought the cameras weren't on? 47% of the country, they're never going to take personal responsibility. They're never going to be hard workers. They're never going to take care of themselves. So I'm going to write off that part of the country. I'm not trying to get their votes. I'm trying to get the other people. It was, his big 47% comment. What argument was he making? Well, the Democrats. The Democrats. They're all lazy and poor, and they don't pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and they're not hard workers, and they're unemployed, and, a lot of them are mooching black people. I didn't say it. No, I'm just saying 47% of the country are fucking lazy and don't work hard. I'm not saying this, but black people are. So, he's clear. He's saying, yeah, the Democrats, they're lazy. They don't work. They rely on other people to pay for them and take care of them. That's the argument he made. And it's not just Mitt Romney. I'm unfairly picking on Mitt Romney here. It's not like he made that up. This is Rush Limbaugh 101, Sean Hannity 101, Ayn Rand 101. The idea that it's like, the liberals, the fucking liberals, always want to do free stuff. Like, idiots. When we talk about let's have universal health care and universal, education, for example, it's paid for with our tax dollars. So we all work, you take a percentage of the money, and then, okay, let's prioritize this and spend it on intelligent things. Nobody's saying, hey, let's create one of these, a universal healthcare system and not pay for it. We're all willing to pay for it just through taxes as opposed to out of our pockets individually where we get price gouged in a capitalist system and there's an unnecessary profit margin there and people fucking get rich off of the misery of others. Okay, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Bottom line is, find me a far right-winger who doesn't think, the Democrats, moochers, parasites, lazy. What they're saying here is no. According to the actual data, the facts, Republican states rely much more heavily on federal government subsidies. So they are net tax receivers way more than the blue states. So in other words, the blue states are more producers and the red states are bigger takers. So if we were inclined to be assholes like them, we can come out here, Republicans, they're all lazy and they're all moochers and they don't work and they don't pull themselves up by their bootstraps and they need to learn a lesson about life and how to live and how to do the right thing and how to actually get up and take some responsibility for yourself. Except, you know what? I'm not going to say that because that's also not true. Because the reality is, the people who net receive federal tax money, these are all people who need to receive federal tax money, not because they're lazy or they're bad people. No, oftentimes the people who get our help are veterans, are senior citizens, are disabled people, people who have various health issues. These are the people who need our help, and oftentimes people end up getting help when they're working a full-time job and they're busting ass, but they still don't make enough money to survive. Now, the people I just described, those are more so Republicans, and it's shown in the data how it's the Republican states that get more help. But that's not, like, I'm not morally judging them based off that. The only thing I would ask them to do is not morally judge black people and minorities and Democrats and say, well, come on, you're all lazy and you don't want to take responsibility. No, again, most people are good people just working hard, trying to get ahead, and sometimes when you work a full-time job and the system is built so that a full-time job doesn't necessitate a living wage, a lot of people are left behind by the system and fucked over, not by any personal failing, but because the system by its nature is designed for people to fail even if they work hard in some instances. So, it would just be nice if they stop with these simplistic views of the world, this black and white view of the world. Democrats, bad, lazy, moochers, parasites. Republicans, good, hard-working, God-fearing, lovely people, responsibility, yeah. It's not the way it works. There are plenty of bad people who are Republicans, plenty of bad people who are Democrats, plenty of good people who are Republicans, plenty of good people who are Democrats. And again, before you trot out that old stereotype again of, oh, lazy-ass Democrats, you know how they are, just remember, the data shows the exact opposite. So pump your brakes a little bit. Your stereotypes are factually incorrect.